Good afternoon, Good Shepherd. It's April 21st, Wednesday, and I am glad to be back from vacation. I've said this to several folks. It was a good time away to renew relationships with my wife and to see places that we'd never seen, including, in my case, the Grand Canyon and the Colorado National Monument. Amazing geological examples of the beauty of creation. So it was a wonderful time, and I felt rested. And like I say, saw some really wonderful things. I'd like to begin this morning, or this afternoon actually, with a reading from a book that I've quoted before, this set of devotions, daily devotions, see if I can do this right, called Liberating Love, 365 Love Notes from God, by Sandhya Ranhi Jha. This was the devotion for a week ago Sunday, for the first Sunday after Easter, although the book doesn't correlate to any sort of liturgical calendar. It just was the devotion for the April 11. And as a reminder, what Jha does in these devotions is she starts with a passage from Scripture, and then she writes a note as if she were God speaking to the reader. And so that's why it's in using the pronouns that it is using in this case. So again, this is the reflection from a week and a half ago. And the quotation is from the book of Ezra. And all the people responded with a great shout when they praised the Lord, because the foundation of the house of the Lord was laid. But many of the priests and Levites and heads of family, old people who had seen the first house on its foundation, wept with a loud voice when they saw this house. Though many shouted aloud for joy, so that the people could not distinguish the sound of the joyful shout from the sound of the people's weeping. For the people shouted so loudly that the sound was heard far away. And again, that's a quotation from Ezra chapter 3. God's speaking to us is, change can be a gift. Change can be painful. And sometimes the same change can be a gift to some and painful to others. There are few spaces where feelings of joy and feelings of loss can be honored side by side like they were when your spiritual ancestors in Israel got to rebuild their temple to me after returning from exile in Babylon. Where in the world today do you witness both mourning and joy side by side? When do you feel both things side by side, even within yourself? How can that combination honor me? Today, I invite you to reflect on how to create space for both joy and mourning for yourself and those around you, that you might be more whole and more connected to both your humanity and your sacredness, so we might grow closer together. Change. We're in the midst of it in so many different ways. And so I just invite you to consider what Jha, or God, has said in this reflection about how do we fit together or make a space for both joy and mourning in the same space. And as we move forward out of COVID land, that's going to be the case for a lot of us. Some of us may really have enjoyed the opportunity to be at home in our bathrobe and to do church with other folks via Zoom, and be mourning the fact that, well, we got to go back to the building. Other people are just so looking forward to going back to the building and being with their fellow parishioners. So joy and mourning intermingled. And we'll see that as we move forward too, as we see that some things that we remember are gone, and we look forward to new possibilities. So this is that time, this joy and mourning. We know that those are intermingled in changes of jobs, changes of homes, all of those kinds of things. There's excitement and regret and sadness all mixed together. And God holds all of that, that tension, that paradox. God holds it gently and holds us gently as we go through it. A few comments about some changes upcoming. One is that this coming Sunday, we will go back to having a service outside at 11:30, a Eucharist outside. We will still be doing Zoom at 9, morning prayer and Zoom at 9 o'clock. But there will be an outside service at 11:30, as there was in the fall. There will not be drive-by. So if you want communion on Sunday, you will need to come to the church at 11:30. A couple of changes that we are making, though, from the practice that we had last fall is that we are not going to ask you to make a reservation. We are not limited by the county or anybody else to the number of people that we can have. We're sort of more limited by whether or not people can hear. And we ask, of course, that you come masked and observe social distancing. So there will be people here to help maintain those various things. We will also, we were using reservations to sort of make sure that we had enough hosts, or the correct number of hosts that I would consecrate. When you arrive, there are a couple of changes. One is you will see a note in the e-news that we're asking you to sign a waiver, and it's not we that are asking you to sign a waiver. It's really church insurance that is asking this, that many insurance companies are going in this direction out of response to COVID, making sure that everybody knows what is going on. So that will be, there will be a link to that, and you can download it in advance. You only have to do that once. You don't have to do it every week, just so that we know and have that on. And you only have to do one for your family. So you'll see the instructions for that in the e-news. But the other piece to that is that when you come, we'll just, when you sign in, we'll continue to do sign-ins. When you sign in, we'll take a wafer and put it in the basket to be consecrated. So that just relieves a whole lot of bureaucratic headaches at our end, and it will make it the process a little more seamless, we hope. And therefore, at the offertory, your gifts will go up in the sense of the basket with the wafers. That will be the offering going forward, and that will be wonderful. So we're asking folks just to arrive a little bit earlier so that we can go through some of these logistics, especially this Sunday for the first time. And then this will be our practice going forward, unless there's some major weather event that would prevent us from doing this outside. So that will be our practice for the next several weeks. Up to Pentecost. Pentecost will be a little different, and we'll talk about that as we draw closer to that as a big day for the church, as well as it being Youth Sunday, and how are we going to do all of those kinds of things. So there are some changes coming down the pike. I hope they're welcome changes for many folks. The desire to be back together is strong. I know that. And as more people are vaccinated and feel safer going out, I imagine we will see some larger numbers at some of these services. And that's quite all right. It's quite expected. And it will be joyful, I'm sure, for those of us who are here. That doesn't mean that those who cannot be with us at 11:30 on Sundays, that's fine. That's why the 9 o'clock Zoom service is there. Some people are going to want to do both. There are different experiences. Some people may have grown to love morning prayer and may mourn the possibility that will be going away. We'll see. We don't know what's going to happen as we move forward. But again, there will be more information about all of those various changes coming down the pike as we have more information to share. Again, I'm glad to be back with you. I look forward to seeing you soon, either online or in person. It being Wednesday, I want to remind you that Compline online tonight at 8:45. Also, you may have just seen an email come out about Earth Day, that being tomorrow, the 22nd. There are opportunities for prayer at 7 a.m. And 7 p.m. Those are going to be live services. Zoom services, but they will be live. And then you have already been advised that there was a pre-recorded Earth Day service with Bishop Kim preaching that is still available online. And we are not going to use it as a formal service at Good Shepherd. Some churches chose to do that. We're making it available for people to participate in as much as you can participate in a pre-recorded service. But if you want to hear the bishop preach, that's a good place to go. So again, I look forward to seeing you soon. Blessings, be safe, enjoy the increasing sunshine that we'll see the rest of this week. And I look forward to seeing you shortly. Bye-bye.